moly. What was that? Wow. All right. It is 7:35. 7:35. June 17th, new release day. We're actually at the shop looking at the new books. Hopefully in about a couple minutes we're going to look at the new books, but first we're going to talk about some absolute crazy shenanigans. Yesterday I get a phone call. Let's go back. Monday I get a delivery, huge delivery, tons of stuff from Penguin Random House, and included in that delivery is a floppy bubble envelope that is like, what? And I open up the envelope, and shoved inside are about 15 copies of the new Mouse Guard. Mouse Guard has been coming out. It's a 3-issue special. Gabriel Rodriguez on the art. And I'm like, why would they send it like this? Well, I understand that it's an odd shape. Here's issue 2, for an example. They're a little bit of an odd shape. So I understand that they might not, they've been sending these in the regular boxes with the regular comics, but okay, hey Mark, I'm like, all right. They're sent in a bubble mailer, wrapped in, that thin stuff that we use for them. Where, whatever, this stuff. It's got a little bit of this stuff in it, wrapped around a bunch of copies of this book. And as you can imagine, every single copy was disgusting. It had corners bent, or multiple corners bent. It had folds all over. It was terrible. And I'm like, why would they send this? Why would they? And I didn't think, it's so stupid of me. I didn't think, all right, I'm going to send a damage report about this right away. I didn't think about it. So I didn't report it right away. And fine, that's Monday. Tuesday at around 5 p.m., I get a phone call. Hey, do you have the cool Marvel stuff for 616 Day? I'm like, the what now? For what? And the person on the phone's like, yeah, Marvel's doing a special. It's June 6th, 16th, so it's 616, and they're variants and pins, and I'm like, no, sorry. So well, they send stuff to comic shops, and I'm like, but why would they send stuff to comic shops for a Monday, right? Like, we don't put new stuff out on Monday. What, like, are they variants of books that came out? I don't know. I don't ask the person. I go online. I try and look it up. Yeah, apparently Marvel announced that morning, hey, we're doing 616 Day. It's a new thing. I'm like, all right, fine. I'm going through. I'm unpacking my books. Customers, new signs, new organization, all this stuff going on. So forget it. And like, don't think about it until I'm unpacking more of the stuff today for the new issues that come out tomorrow. And one of the lines is like 616 surprise. I'm like, wait, what? So I contact Penguin Random House. I don't have no 616 surprises. I don't have any of this stuff. And the person's like, well, there should have been some variants and pins in there for you. No. And they said, yeah, it would have come in its own bubble mailer. So someone at the Penguin Random House shipping facility took my stack of mouse guards and shoved it in the envelope for this surprise. I didn't have the surprise. I looked like a complete numpty when someone called me because I had no idea what he was talking about, and all my mouse guards are ruined. So that's comic distribution for you in a nutshell. It's like, yeah, surprise, I didn't get them, and they ruined all my comics. Then, as I unpacked, I realized that with my Image stuff that we got 3 weeks worth of Image stuff for a whole bunch of reasons we'll talk about tomorrow, I have a tremendous amount of new books. So once I finished putting them out and unpacking them, which was almost 7 o'clock, I had to go and put them on the wall. Like, they have to go up. I have to see if I have room. As it is, I've got a big stack. Where is it? I've got a big stack of comics that I don't know where to put from just last week and the week before because of how much room all the new books took up. And then people start coming in, looking around, oh, just walking around, just seeing what's in the shop. Just, okay, but I have new books up for tomorrow that I'm not allowed to sell yet. So that's why they're covered like that. Anyway, besides for all those new books that we're going to look at tomorrow, we did get a bunch of awesome new stuff. I got some deliveries today of stuff that came out today. So let's look at it. We've got brand new distribution. Baum, one of my favorite creators, that we don't stock because Pow Pow, Pow times two, is this great little Canadian company that we just simply couldn't get from Diamond after a while. Diamond was not reordering them. Boom, IPS is now stocking them. With IPS stocking them, I'm like, we're going to get this. The Jellyfish is an exceptional, look, it's a nice, chunky graphic novel. Deal with coming of age, identity, gender, relationships, and your own body. So very, very special. I'm glad we finally have that again. Shout Loud My Heart, a explicit BL about rock and roll. Look at this, Mark. This is like all up your alley. Cats with This is also up your alley. Padania stuff constantly sells. Adorable little cat things. Had to get it. Bugle Call, Song of War. My customer Angel, who is my biggest manga fanatic, asked if we were getting this long before it was solicited. He said it's got some of his favorite art that he's reading right now. It's a ridiculous shonen action series. This boy has a magic trumpet that gets angels on his side of his army. But it's gorgeous art, and eventually the story does turn when you find the other armies have their own angels. I don't think that's in this volume, but looks like a really great war comic. Tatsume, the creator of the Gatchaman, just got a re-release of the Infinity. This is an old 80s sort of superhero-y comic that he did years ago. I think maybe 90s. So we stocked the first 2 volumes of that. The Complete Angler, the wonderful Gareth Brooks, turns Isaac, I think, Walton's, I think 1700, 1800, 1600, 1650s instruction manual on how to fish and the best way to fish into a beautiful graphic adaptation. Gareth Brooks, of course, one of the people who can do no wrong in my mind. I don't love every one of his books, but every choice he makes and all the ways he does his art is just incredible. He did a bit of his embroidery work on this one as well, as along with cutout. Just absolutely fantastic. I wish it would have been here before Father's Day, a few weeks before Father's Day instead of after Father's Day, but definitely a highly recommended art book. Sailor V, this was collected in the Eternal editions and only just now put into the normal. And Sailor V, if you know, is the precursor to Sailor Moon, not in that it came out before it, but she's supposed to be before them. Very, very beloved by fans. Wash It All Away, the second volume of the shoujo that takes place inside a laundromat. It's got the second volume of that. Birds of Prey, Volume 3, a wonderful volume in which Cassie, Batgirl, is undercover and the Birds of Prey have to go rescue her. We're going to talk about this in a second. Black Cohosh, a amazing book about growing up, coming of age without a lot of money by, I cannot pronounce, Eagle Valiant Brose. Another great book that I really just got based on the art and storytelling and haven't read all the way through. Batwoman LG, this is one of my favorite DC runs. J.H. Williams' Batwoman. I doubt they will do, as they very frequently don't with the compact, I doubt they will do continuation of it, but J.H. went so hard on this comic. There are just so many stunning pages, so much exceptional artwork. It's a little bit upsetting how tiny it looks for the 2-page spreads and things, but in general, really just one of my favorite bits of DC lore. Obviously, there's plenty of other J.H. Williams work that's better, but very little of it comes in $10 compact editions. Second Chibi Miraculous manga. The fourth Grumpy Monkey School book, but first one done as a graphic novel. So it's the best-selling Grumpy Monkey series. This Jim Pansy is a grumpy monkey who doesn't want to admit that he's grumpy. This is about going to school and hanging out with all his friends, and it is in graphic novel format. Very exciting. We've got the next Mighty Marvel team-up. They did 3 Spider-Man ones. With Mike Mayhack, and now they've moved on to Iron Man team-ups, written by the great Dean Hale. If you don't know Dean... Oh, Grumpy Monkey's a lot of fun. Margot loves when we read her the page in the original book where he shouts, "I'm not grumpy." It's a great 2-page spread where he's screaming. Dean, of course, better known as the husband of the amazing Shannon Hale, co-wrote Amethyst with her and the Squirrel Girl books that they wrote together and a bunch of other stuff with her, as well as a whole bunch of novels on himself. Big Iron Man fan. I don't know Douglas Holgate. I've seen his art online a little bit, but I don't know his ongoing work. This is about Iron Man and Doctor Strange teaming up and how much Iron Man dislikes magic. Looks like a fun book. Maikie's Call Me Emma. This is actually, I believe, a student of Yao, or maybe a protege of Yao, about Chinese girls, time in America, learning about America. Imagine American-born Chinese from the other kid's perspective, the one who just came to the country and does not really understand. It's very much about her changing her identity and appearance and thoughts to fit in and not doing that as well. Geiger Volume 3, G.I. Joe Energon Universe Volume 1. That's the first of the new Energon Universe. Second volume of the Deviant. We now have the complete Deviant, Volumes 1 and 2 in stock. That is our friend Josh's absolutely dark serial killer Santa book. Highly recommended. The Ultimate Guide to Superman. This is one of those DK books. You know, DK makes those little white books, those thin white books that are very tall, and they just have lots and lots of information about characters. And then they do these. These are like the deluxe versions, which are just like non-stop information about every single person you can imagine in the Superman universe. And the way things have been different and changed. If we stocked this kind of book heavily, I would have gotten tons of this one, but instead we just got Joe's copy and one for the shelf. Second to last but not least, It's Busy Down in the Woods Today. A really beautiful 100 Things to Find book. Look at all these little detail. Hold on, let me answer Sarah. Besides for being very busy and filled with gorgeous art, it has a little bit of a story, which then puts you on a big page where it asks you to find things. And I really was very taken by the pages of the art I saw. I really think this is a beautiful book. And we have very much cut down on picture books. But this one I felt we had to get a couple of copies of. Hopefully we'll sell out of it very, very quickly. Last but not least, the Wicked and Divine Compendium. This came with a giant image delivery along with Geiger and the Deviant and G.I. Joe. The reason I wanted to wait about this one is this book is kind of special to me because if you recall, recently, good angle here. Recently, a dear customer of ours for 10 years, Will Johnson, passed away in the winter. He was sick, but it was still kind of sudden. Will was one of the most intense readers I knew. Will would wait till an entire series was done to even look at it. He would buy the collected volumes, or he preferred 3-in-1s, like those fat volumes. And then he would reread the whole series when it was finished. So for Wicked and Divine, this monster. For Wicked and Divine, there were 3 giant books of Wicked and Divine hardcovers. And when Will got the third, he was so excited. And he's like, I'm going to go restart my read. He goes, when I got 2, I reread 1. And I said, I wasn't going to read 2 because there were so many things. He's like, there were so many things hidden in it that I figured that I'm just going to forget about it before I finish. I'm going to wait. I've been waiting. Between 2 and 3, there was 2 years. 2 years. And he said, I'm going to wait. I'm going to read the whole thing straight. And he went home and he read the whole thing straight. And he came back a couple months later after basically all he read was Wicked and Divine. And he goes, this is the way to read Wicked and Divine. You must. Hey, Joe. Good. You be ready, Joe. You've got a gigantic stack. We'll show Joe's stack off in 1 second after this. But Will said, that's the way to read the Wicked and Divine. All in one. He goes, all in one, in a row, no distractions. There is so much in this book that subtly sets up foreshadowing, makes little references that pay off 10 issues later, 15 issues later, that, and I'm really not huge on these giant compendium series. This is $60, right? What is it? Yeah, $60. But I have so much love for Will and so much respect. When he came and he said, yeah, that's what I read for a month. I just read Wicked and Divine. And let me tell you, that's the way to read it. I thought about that when I saw the compendium coming out. And, right? Wicked and Divine, it makes you feel things. But I can't even imagine reading it straight through. All right, so Joe, you've got the Superman book, the DK book that I just showed off to everybody. And then let's look inside Joe's. Bum, ba-da-dum. That is all going to you, Joseph. I think. So everybody say, wow, Joe, to Joe. And then we will say goodbye. I got to start getting closed up for the day. Tomorrow, we are going, besides for packing Joe's order, packing Jesse's order, packing a bunch of things. Besides for that, we have tons of new issues to look at. All these issues that I've got covered up right now. Oop, I meant to hit that. There we go. All of this will be revealed tomorrow. Some of them I'm not allowed to sell now, so I showed off. But yeah, that's that. I got to get the store closed up, the recycling put in the recycling bin, and Sarah not too upset at me for having to wait. So until tomorrow, well, first off, if you want any of those 20 books that we just looked at, please let me know. If you have a lead on the Marvel 616 pins, the pins are the only thing I was really kind of interested in. Let me know. And if not, I'll see you all later. Remember, damn it, babies, you gotta be kind.